Hello, Mexican rejects. My name is Greg Alba, and to all you non-Mexicans, welcome to the channel. I'm going to talk about the movie Coco today. Coco is the latest entry into Pixar's Disney animated films. Boy, do I have some opinions on this movie right here. Heavy criticisms, that's for sure. And today's video is sponsored by none other than Stardust. Stardust is this app that allows you to do 30-second reactions for any film, TV show, or trailer. Just to give you an idea, here's my 30-second review of Coco. Guys, I just watched Coco. My eyes look like this because I was crying so fucking much in this goddamn movie. Yeah, I'm about to cry again just thinking about it. It is such a beautiful film, and it has so many messages about like family and pursuing your passions and unconditional love. It's easily one of Pixar's best movies I've ever seen, and yeah, what a great film to watch on Thanksgiving. I would absolutely love to recommend it for everyone. As you can tell, I had a lot of criticism for this movie. No, this film was a tearjerker, that's for sure. Before comments started coming in, because people have already been asking me what I thought of Olaf's Frozen Adventure, well, the Stardust reaction will give you a better idea than anything else I'll say right now here. Yep, that's how I felt about it, but I just want to talk about Coco. I did not know this was going to be playing before Coco. I was looking forward to a Pixar animated short film, so if I had been prepped, I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. But honestly, I'm not a big fan of Frozen to begin with. There were some funny moments to be had in here. It's super corny, super cheesy, super Disney. I thought it went on way too long, and overall it felt like just a promo to get you excited for Frozen 2. Didn't really love it, to be honest. So if you happen to have missed out on one of the most viewed trailers of the year, that's Coco. It's a story about this little Mexican boy named Miguel. And Miguel, he's really into his guitar. He's really into music. He looks up to this figure, this really popular figure that used to be like a big movie star in Mexico and a famous musician called Ernesto de la Cruz. His family, though, is the only family in Mexico that hates music, is anti-music. Their great-great-great-grandfather, something like that, where the whole lineage starts from, he left them to become a big musician. So, like, music is outlawed within this kid's family. And honestly, the first act of this movie just takes place in Mexico and then eventually transitions into Dia de los Muertos. I think that's how you say it. I want to just say Day of the Dead, but if I don't say that, my girlfriend gets mad at me because she's half Spanish. Jeez. But when they're in Mexico, you get a really good sense for the family dynamics, the Mexican culture. I'm not Mexican, but I've grown up in LA my entire life, and there's plenty of Mexican people out here, and a lot of my closest friends over the years are Mexican, so I've been to a lot of family parties, been around the lifestyle plentiful. I have no idea what it's like to live specifically in Mexican culture, but I've gotten enough great teases of what it must actually be like. Seeing the portrayals of this kid's whole family, the different personalities, or even the people he interacts with in town, it feels so authentic and it really feels like you're watching like a Mexican family. It's adorable as shit. It's so super adorable. I was so on board for there that I wasn't even sitting around going, when's he gonna get to Day of the Dead? When's he gonna start seeing the afterlife? I would have gladly watched just this story of a kid trying to get along with his family and pursue his own dreams. It's because that alone was powerful enough. And then eventually transitions where he wants to steal Ernesto de la Cruz's guitar. And when he does do that, he somehow creates this portal where he's able to go into the afterlife, and it's all in Day of the Dead format. When it goes into the world there, it is beautiful. It's Pixar at its imaginary best. The world of the afterlife, which this movie kind of deals with some dark stuff periodically, and you're dealing with the dead, and they all look dead. They don't look like human ghosts. They all pretty much have the skeleton designs. If you've ever seen people celebrate Dia de los Muertos, they put a lot of makeup on that kind of gives this skeleton-like presence. Instead of them wearing makeup, that's just what they look like now in the afterlife.
I think it may be Dia de los Muertos.
I might be saying it wrong, but according to my white friend John, it might be Dia de los Muertos.
Muertos, not muertes.
I've been saying tes, huh? Yeah, Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos. Del Taco. Enchilada. Remember this one, kids? Yo quiero Taco Bell, you're probably too old for that now. But the 90s kids remember that. So when Miguel lands in the land of the dead, they do a lot of world exploration. There's a lot of neat tricks they do with skeleton design and how they maneuver around places. And when the skeletons fall apart, how they assemble back together. And there's a wide variety of awesome personalities that all honor and pay homage to like Mexican families. It's so freaking good in the way it's written. The script is so solid here. In the plot, he encounters this guy you don't really trust, this trickster of sorts, a con man of sorts named Hector. Throughout this journey, he's basically unlocking his family history because he sees a lot of his family members that he's never met because they've all passed on. And he goes on a very specific journey into discovering about his family, learning about himself, where he has to figure out how to get back to the real world before sunrise. So there's this ticking time clock to it. So he's slowly morphing. He's kind of got that Marty McFly thing where he's looking at the photo and his hand's fading, but it's a skeleton. Throughout this plot, it's already a great plot. Like there are plot elements and plot twists that I just didn't see coming. In terms of the storytelling, it's fantastic in the plot department. The characters are all voiced wonderfully. They're written wonderfully. The Miguel character is one of my favorite Pixar characters ever. The strength of this film is the various themes that are explored throughout this entire movie. You get a lot of strong themes about family values and what it means to honor yourself and also honoring your family. And what's the fine line between that? Because a lot of the times we have our dreams, especially for artistic types who have a specific dream they want to pursue, but families disapproving of it. Do you cut out your family? How do you get your family to understand? Do you need them to understand? So it has a lot of debates and questions with that as well. And then you have the other themes of pursuing your dreams and not giving up on your dreams. And for a film about Day of the Dead, they did something that I haven't personally thought about too much in my real life, which is about honoring the dead. And that's the whole point of Dia de los Muertos. I have no idea if I'm saying it right. But the whole point of Day of the Dead is to remember the dead, honor the dead. And there's a lot of specific things that deal with that plot line of honoring the dead and how valuable and important that is to remember your ancestry. If you're aware of where you come from, if you're aware of the importance of your lineage, it has a lot of themes of forgiveness as well. I feel like the last half hour I just kept crying. I just kept crying like the last half. There's always a new plot thing that kept taking place that made me keep crying. And then finding out why it's called Coco was such a great reveal. Oh man, there is so much in this movie that I can't recommend highly enough. The animation is great. The characters are great. The music, I'm not a big fan of musicals in general. I love the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and I love La La Land. Other than that, I have a hard time listing musicals I enjoy. Even when it comes to Disney musicals, 9 times out of 10, I enjoy them, but I don't really care strongly about them. That's why the whole Frozen little short film that went on for too long beforehand kind of got on my nerves because I'm not that invested in these musical numbers. This movie had such great musical numbers and you really get to feel the instruments at play too because a lot of it is on the guitar and you feel that guitar. It is so moving. This film is enjoyable from the beginning and then by the end you're in just a powerful family film. This is that rare family film where you know that there will be plenty of kids who will enjoy the hell out of it, but there's probably going to be a lot of impactful messages and themes that will be more relevant and stronger for adults. So in my personal opinion, this is one of Pixar's best films ever. I haven't loved a lot of the Pixar films as of late, other than Monsters University and Cars 2, which were fantastic. The other ones, like those films specifically, I don't really care for, or even Cars 3, Finding Dory. People love Inside Out. I personally thought, yeah, it's enjoyable, but I don't love Inside Out. This film is for kids, but it's also mature, and that's a big reason why I really appreciated it. It might take my spot for best movie of the year, honestly. We'll find out. You still got a few more movies come out in December. Go watch this movie. It's a good date movie. It's a good family movie. It's a good movie to watch by yourself. It's for everyone. It's the perfect holiday film. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Did you see Coco? Where would you rank it in Pixar's long line of great films? Which spot would you give it in the Pixar ranking? Comment below. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Please click that notification bell. You can follow us on Patreon. You can become a Patreon eject today. It's awesome over there. Make sure to follow us on the Stardust app. Download it. Follow us first, especially if we're the first ones to tell you. We're the first ones to really motivate you to go use it. Follow us first because we're posting a lot over there and the Stardust community is fantastic. It's the best community. Trump impression in a Coco video. What a weird time.